All right, we are live. Welcome to Basics in the Lane Training, Longevity, Team Longevity Life. Thanks for showing up. Been a week, guys. So let's get this going here. All right. So the basics in the lane, basically, just in a nutshell, very simply, we do this training, whether you've been doing this for a short time or whether you've been doing it forever, the business that is, and that's so it's just a great reminder to keep everybody on track, everybody doing the same things, everybody plugging into the system. This is a part of the system. It's a big part. It's the beginning of your journey as a business builder in longevity, and it's also, hi Kimberly, welcome, and it's also it helps you be a business builder. So not only for yourself, but it's just the system. You'll see it repeats itself. So we start with our why. So if you're here, chances are you've thought about your why, you know what it is, and it's the ultimate motivating factor. It's going to be the thing that draws out your hunger and your drive to continue with this business when you may not feel like doing things, when you are tired or whatever. So whether it's, for your family, whether it's health freedom, time freedom, financial freedom, all of the above, 2 of the 3, what is your why? You want to get that deep, you want to get that out, you want to get that on paper, you want to get that concrete, you want to think about it, meditate on it. It's going to be the fuel under you to propel you forward in this business. And so after you have thoroughly established your why, you're going to then make a list for your upline. You don't necessarily, you can start your list before you have the meeting with your upline. But basically, if you're going to do the business and be a serious business builder and you want to do it, your goal is to do it full time, then you're going to want to do 200 names, their addresses, phone numbers, and you can just empty your mind. Empty your phone contacts, empty your Facebook contacts. It's pretty easy to come up with 200, and that number will grow. If you're looking to do this just part-time and you just want to, do the business enough to maybe pay for your products or you and your family's products, you can start with 50 names, but again, it'll grow. It's a dynamic list. It's a working list. You're going to add to it. You're going to mark it up, you're going to do it on paper, and then you can transfer it to an electronic version. Many people do that. And we want to, as an active list for a full-time person, 5 new contacts are added to that list 5 days a week. So that's the system for that. And so you want to prioritize the list. We're not going to call everybody in alphabetical order. We're going to think about our list and think about the people that we know the best, have a mutual respect with, people that we know are financially stable enough to at least get started, because it's such a great opportunity for multiplication and financial freedom. So those are the people that can really, if they're on fire for it and they're qualified, you know that already. You're gonna put a check mark next to their name for these qualifications. So mutual respect, get the check. Money to start right away with the Z Radical Mega Pack, another check mark. And then, if there's a need. A lot of people, as I mentioned, have 1 of 3 needs, or 2 of 3 needs, or 3 of 3 needs, which are financial freedom, time freedom, or health freedom, is what they're seeking. So you'll have your list with check marks, some with 1, some with 2, some with 3, and you start with the ones with 3 check marks. And you start calling them or getting together, having conversations. So you want to do the conversation framework, ideally, but as part of the system, we don't want to spend too much time trying to be perfect and trying to know everything before we start going out and sharing and talking to people. So you just want to, a simple version is the coffee shop interview. Tom Chenault put that together. He's one of our leaders in longevity. And so, and as you grow, you'll get better and better at the conversation. But you want to basically just be a really good listener. Listen for things with these people that aren't perfect things, you know, and you may have to, as you get better at the conversation framework, you have to, you know, you can hear between the lines, if you will, and, you know, really draw out the things, help them in that process of self-discovery of what isn't perfect and things that they may want in their life that they don't currently have. And so we really want to get to their reasons and values. We're not out selling products. We are asking lots of questions, and if they qualify themselves through this process of conversation, questions, listening, and self-discovery for that person, and they qualify, meaning they're really serious, they really have a need, they're really serious, they want to do something about it, then we will say, great, I have somebody that you really need to meet. He's an amazing person, and that's where you edify your upline, and that's where we get to exposure and education. So one of the most powerful and important exposures is going to be introducing someone to a who. And so again, we're not selling products, we're introducing qualified people to a system that will deliver them to freedom of whatever it is that they are in bondage with, let's say. So invite them to a who meeting. Edify, 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 whoever the who is. In a lot of cases, it's your upline, but it doesn't have to be. And you don't necessarily have to start with that, but it's highly recommended that you start with that if they're really qualified and serious about it and want to get started. But other exposures and education is sending people videos, doing three-way calls. Kimberly's in this room. She's a great one for, you know, if someone's struggling with fibromyalgia, she would be a great one to get on a three-way call and have a conversation with somebody who may be struggling with that and they're in physical bondage, right? So some people need one exposure and they jump in and say, yeah, I want to do this business. I get it. I want to do it. Other people take time because obviously network marketing is becoming more and more well known, and different companies do it differently. And so unfortunately, we've got a little bit of a stigma that we've got to just, you know, show people that you know, we're not out to get them. It's exposure and education. So some people it may take 12 exposures. Hopefully not, because typically after the, you know, a few, and especially after the who meeting, that's why that one's really important. Especially after the who meeting, they should pretty much know if they're you know, if they're serious. You should know and should be picking up on that vibe. So it's just going to be different for everyone. And as you grow, you know, you're gonna lose some because you're growing in how to expose and educate and communicate and listen and have conversations. So don't beat yourself up. It'll come. All right. So you've had this conversation. They say, tell me more. There's a need there. You expose and educate. You invite them to a who. All right, so you've invited them to a who, you've edified before that who meeting as to who the who is, and they sign up, you say, awesome, you've got, you know, they're pumped, you want to keep that momentum going because, you know, just like, I don't know if you've ever been on any kind of a health kick or a diet or anything like that, you know, once you make that decision, you're like, yeah, I'm going to get on this health thing and I'm going to lose weight or whatever it is, you know, you don't want to have to then do nothing for a week because you're like, you know. So the idea is to capture that and capture that excitement and momentum and motivation. And after you sign them up and set a 24-hour meeting, you're going to do exactly what we just talked about: is the why, draw their why out, continue with the conversation, get that why down on paper, get that, you know, through the conversation framework, really getting that emotionalized, because most of our decisions are made on emotion, and for good reason. And if you're going to do this, you're not going to want a lukewarm person. You're going to want somebody that goes, heck no, I am not doing this. or you're going to want somebody, you know, because then you really know. But you're really going to want people that are super excited about it, that are like, get it, I'm on fire, let's do it, I want this. So get their why down on paper, make it definite, make it concrete, let them, you know, write it down. All right, so again, same thing with you. If you're serious, if you want to do this full time, if you want to be a professional network marketer, then you're gonna help them with 200 names, and it's going to be a working dynamic list. You're going to do the check marks and prioritize with them, or teach them how to do that, and it's going to be dynamic. And so after you've done that, you're going to you know, just introduce them to the system, just like this, basics in the lane. There's conversation framework training. We want to really emphasize in that 24-hour meeting that our goal, excuse me, as their upline is to get their money back in 30 days. And that's part of the introducing somebody to a WHO meeting, because at that WHO meeting, they're going to learn the wealth principles. They're going to learn how the system works. They're going to learn that multiplication is the only way out of financial bondage, if that's where they are. And so the system is getting their money back in 30 days. And if for some reason that doesn't happen and it takes a little longer, which does happen sometimes, you don't want it to, and that's not the ideal, but transparency, that happens, Longevity will refund them. So if they've done a mega, a CEO Z Radical Mega Pack, you know, that's an investment, and so Longevity will honor that if it ends up not being what they want to do anymore. But most people don't need that. It's a nice safety net to just let people know. All right. So our goal is senior associate in 7 days and 1-star executive in a month. That's helping 4 people change their life and introducing them to the system. So each of those 4 people that they help can help 4. Those are legs. So each of those people can make legs, and that's how they become the 1-star executive. Okay? If there are any questions, feel free to chime in. All right, so you've signed them up. You have an upline. They now have an upline. You are their first level upline. So you're the one, the communication method, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're gonna ideally talk to them every day. Check in. Staying plugged in is really key here. Ideally, they will communicate with your 1 level up upline every other day, and then every 3rd day, the next level up above that. You see how that works. So it's this, you know, not only are we networking with people outside the company, we network within our group too, to really stay plugged in, keep everybody in the flow, keep everybody, you know, problem solve, encouragement. It's a really good idea, because life will sweep you away if you let it. Okay. And so, you know, set a time. My daily upline communication time is 9 p.m. So just set that, just agree on something. It doesn't have to be the same time every night, obviously. So, but again, make it definite. The more definite, the better the results in that direction. So I mentioned that life can pull you away sometimes, and that's just, you know, that's what life does or can do. And so you want to have that discussion up front and just, you know, be real and have that, encourage them to be real with you and say, hey, listen, you know, if you start to get distant, pull away, because they're supposed to call you every day, right? You know, how do you want me to proceed? Do you want me to remind you? Do you want me to help you, you know, do you want me to leave you alone for a day and then check in the following day? Do you want me to hound you like a dog? So however it's going to work between the 2 of you. This is all about relationships. So it's a respect thing. You know, you establish that ahead of time, and then there's no surprises, right? Okay. So getting plugged in, like I said, one way to get plugged in is trainings like this, Basics in the Lane. This is one way that you can stay plugged in. Calling your upline, calling your level 2 and your level 3 and your level 4, that's a way to get plugged in. We've got a Facebook group. We've got a Voxer, That's an app that we communicate with. If you're not familiar with it, there's a little walkie-talkie option where you can just talk and it records your voice, and then people can respond, or you can text in, you can put pictures on there. So it's a nice little chat room option that we stay in communication with. We have a book club. We have a couple of different book club groups. We've got a list of recommended reading, and that's a way to keep yourself plugged in with yourself, you know. And then corporate calls. There's a call every day, multiple times a day for different verticals. There's, you know, depending on what your passion is, but there's at least, you know, like a 15-minute hair on fire call in the morning, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time with Tom Chenault, who like is super high energy for that early in the morning, because I think he's in Colorado, which is early at 8:30, so 6:30 I think. So anyway, there's always something to plug into, and they record them. So you can go onto your YGY website, scroll all the way to the bottom, and you can look at calls, listen to calls there as well. So that's helpful. Sometimes, you know, you miss them. Because most of us are working a full-time job while we're trying to get this thing off the ground. And so, yeah, they record those calls, both of them. All right, so I mentioned the recommended reading. So there are CDs and DVDs. There's some really powerful ones. We're finding that shorter is better. There's the newest thing that I've seen is the Dr. Good and Dr. Wallach interview. It's about somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes long. It's not very long. It's very powerful. The Dead Doctors Don't Lie CD is a really awesome lecture, but it is long. It's over an hour, so you want to be careful who you share that with. Make sure they're really qualified for that one. But there's lots of webinars and short videos, YouTube videos. Again, this is part of why we talk to our upline, because they have been doing this and they know where to find everything. So, okay, the two quote-unquote Bibles of network marketing, where we talked about the conversation framework. That is in How to Sell Network Marketing Without Fear, Anxiety, or Losing Your Friends. And so it's 7 questions, and you can, the beauty of getting better at this is that you practice. So staying plugged in is one of the trainings, is how to do the conversation framework. 7 questions, the better you get at this, and the more the training you tune in with, because it's not the same person teaching the training every time. So it's nice to get different perspectives and different conversations. Different people show up to those trainings, and so yes, there's 7 questions written down, but you know, the more into this you get, there's just a more it kind of becomes an art, like this beautiful thing that develops, and how to have these conversations in a real advanced skilled way and really become an expert listener. So that book is priceless. That is the emotional side, the right brain side of network marketing. How to really connect with people, really make them feel listened to and heard and understood. And so that one's super important. It's improved my relationships with people, improved my marriage. I can't say enough about it. It's awesome. And then the left brain side, the more how to step-by-step side of things, is the GoPro, the 7 skills. Eric Worre is awesome. This is the nuts and bolts. This is the how to you know, find people, how to invite, how to present, how to follow up. So it's really like the formula for how to really dig in and do this by someone who's been doing it for a very long time. Both of these guys, very long time, very successful, amazing books. So, okay, so additional tools that YGY has for getting started is, oh, and I wanted to, mention the promoting events part, and I will do my little plug now. So in August, middle of August, we're all going to Dallas for the 20th anniversary of YGY, Dallas, Texas, in August. I'll have to look. Anyway, Events are really important. They're really powerful. I know that the first event that I went to changed my life and really solidified my drive, my hunger, my motivation, my wanting to continue to do this. To be in a room with several hundred people who are vibrating at that high frequency, that are driven, that are motivated, that are really positive, that are really, you know, powerful and caring and loving and genuine and authentic. It's an experience like none other. I've been to 2 events and it's like I'm hooked. So that's a big deal when you get into this business, is to get yourself to events, get your team to events, get your downline to events. They're really, really invaluable. Okay, so just the additional tools real quickly. The Healthy Body Challenge, the marketing system. When you get your mega pack, they're going to send you a whole bunch of stuff for, you know, marketing, how to, you know, little workbooks, product catalogs. So they're really thorough about that. The Healthy Body Challenge is just a way for people to, because the core of the company is the 90 for life, the 90 essential nutrients that Dr. Wallach came up with and started this company. So that's really the heart and soul of the company. And so the Healthy Body Challenge is really, you know, people jumping in, they get their mega pack, they're starting on the, you know, the system and the protocols from Dr. Wallach, depending on, you know, their individualized health situation. And most of the time it's a weight loss thing. And it's pretty awesome because when you go to the events, the winners are announced, and they show a video of their journey from where they were to where they are now. And it's like, there's not a dry eye in the place. It's awesome. These people are getting their lives back. It's really powerful. And the Mega Pack, the Z Radical CEO Mega Pack, biggest value, what's in it, the actual products, but also more importantly, you know, the system of multiplication. That is the biggest opportunity all the way around to do this business for real and to multiply and to leave generations with, you know, residual income in a business, the willable business, just like if you opened a storefront. So pretty awesome. I can't say enough about that. All right. They do a car bonus as well. You know, at a certain point, they'll do a car bonus, a monthly, and they'll just be a monthly check. You don't have to spend it on a car. So lots and lots of perks. All right. That is it. We are at 24 after, a little bit longer than I intended, but I think I covered everything. If there's any questions, let me know. Get with the person who invited you to this training or who showed you this link for this recording. And if there aren't any questions, I thank you very much for coming. Have an awesome night. Keep it simple, guys. Until next time.